son. Where'd you find this?
Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
A few moments later.
You are now listening to Podcast 42, the world's most popular, inaccurate, and sometimes squirreled retelling of pop culture history.
Can I say you are the worst messenger person ever?
How?
You don't
I
read.
send you so many messages.
I know.
Yes,
you never
so many.
You never read what I write back.
I do. I just don't reply to it.
And then
You sent the same message 5 minutes after Nicole sent a message.
You asked if we needed the beer, and then I said, just scroll up. It's right there. And you said, I can't scroll, but you actually didn't have to scroll. It was all on the same page.
No, because my message asking actually pushed it up on my screen.
So why did you ask?
You need to read. When somebody sends you a message, you have to read that message.
The whole initiating of the conversation yesterday was me first asking, opening conversation with, do we need beer
I didn't
for
read
tomorrow?
The whole conversation at all.
Well, it
I
wasn't
just
really
asked if
that
you
much
needed
of a
beer.
conversation is what
We
we're
know.
trying to
I
say.
literally only open up the conversation
we
and ask
know.
if you guys need a beer.
I have gray hair from you.
Just from yesterday.
And on that note, it's time for Podcast 42.
Woo!
Who's the gray hair giver? I'm pointing at you. What's your name?
Froz. Hey.
It's Madonna's first day on the job.
I've never talked to the microphone before. I'm JL Trost.
I'm Nicole Fasone.
And I'm Christopher DeVos.
Hello.
And today we're talking Caddyshack.
Yay.
Yeah. But first, we're doing something different with the beer cooler.
What? Oh, yeah, that's
JL's being fancy today. What's going on today with it?
I'm dancing like the gopher in Caddyshack.
I see that. No one else can see it, but I can
Nope,
see it.
but it's happening. It's going to be like that all show, too.
So what's the fancified beer cooler going on today?
Oh, today we're trying 2 different beers from Dogfish Head. Mm-hmm. I got the SeaQuench Ale, which is a session sour,
right. Oui.
and the Lupu-Luau IPA,
The
which
what?
is a Lupu-Luau,
Lupu-Luau.
which is a coconut IPA, which when I went to Koozie Palooza a few weeks ago, where the founder of Dogfish Head was there, he suggested to do this.
Okay.
So we are going to take a sip of each of the beers to give a rating on what we think of it initially, but we're going to mix the beers together.
Interesting.
So that way, as he put it, you put the lime and the coconut.
Shake it all up.
Oh, I just want to mention my grandma had Lupu-Luau, but we found a cream.
Oh, good.
Good.
Wait, who
Good.
said that, though?
My grandma.
No, not that.
Oh.
What JL's quoting.
Put the lime in the
head of
coconut.
Dogfish. He just said that.
Yeah, the
it's like
founder-
we're on Messenger.
The founder of Dogfish Head Brewery suggested to mix these beers together.
Oh.
Wrong beer, Chris.
So just remember, the IPA has a 7.3 ABV, and the SeaQuench Sour has a 4.9 ABV.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say before. I was like, wow, there's a difference in the percentages. So together they will equal one average beer.
Yeah.
So we're taking a sip from each, and then we
Wait,
mix.
Chris, what do you think of the ratings first? Of the cans, the labels?
Oh, the labels? They're kind of basic, but I like the colors.
Yeah.
I like the colors a lot.
One is like a seafoam green, and the other one is like a lime green. But the funny thing is, the seafoam green is not on the lime. The lime colored one is for the coconut. It's just so backwards it bothers me.
I would say the colors pull it off to a 4.
Ooh, I just tried the sour. Wow, that is definitely a lot of sour. And that one's the 4.9. The lime one is 4.9.
Oh my God, you're right.
I know.
Wow.
Look at that, Chris and I agree for once.
That's sour.
And now I'm going to try the coconut, and then we are going to carefully...
It's like I took a whole
Combined.
thing of those Sour Patch Kids and just let them marinate in my cheeks.
But then it'll be sweet.
Ooh, I like the coconut one. Ooh, I could drink a lot of that one. Cool. All right, now we want to mix them together, and then I guess we'll come back at the end of the episode and talk about how we liked each individual and the 2 combined.
Yeah, how are we going to rate this?
Oh,
We're going to be rating all over the place.
What if we give each one a rating individual, and then the combined one a rating, and then
lot of
add them up
paperwork.
and average it?
There you go. That's a good idea. But
I like it.
how, Nicole, Faraz, do we rate the beer?
I'm still trying to pour these without spilling it on my lap unsuccessfully.
Okay, but there might be a
I
new
need to
listener.
tell you unsuccessfully because there's no napkins or paper towels.
No,
Good
we
thing
don't
you're
believe
wearing
in
long
that.
sleeves.
But what if there's a brand new listener to the show and they're like, how are these people going to rate the beer? What system are they going
you
to
like me
use?
to-
This
Or that
person might be thinking, oh, they're probably going to use a 5-point scale because that just seems like it would make sense. It's the most accurate scale for ranking anything. But no, that person would be shocked and I dare say dismayed because that's how I also feel every single time. Though with less dismay and less shock, obviously, as it goes on.
So it's bothering you less and less every week is what you're saying? Less dismay?
Yes, you get used to pain.
Okay, so what is the scale then? If it's not 5-point,
It's out of a 6-pack, so you're ranking drinkability out of a 6-pack. How many of these beers out of 6 can you drink? But with the 2 beers at a time, now you have 2 6s. I don't.
What we said.
Now I myself find myself.
you're putting too much thought into it.
I would be perplexed. I think
I
if I was
just-
this new listener, I'd be wondering how are they going to do this.
If I was a new listener, I'd be wondering, why are you so angry?
If I was a new listener, I would have heard Nicole say, we are going to rate each one individually out of 6. We are going to rate the combined beer out of 6. We are going to add up the numbers and divide them by 3 to get the average for the episode.
We're going to math.
This was already mentioned
Yes! You were busy pouring it unsuccessfully.
onto my lap, which
See?
is now wet.
I'm listening.
But you know what time it is? It's pop quiz time.
Oh, no.
And this pop quiz is called Why is a Golfer Like a Cake? Or Rabbits Will Use M&Ms When They Prank Pools.
What?
Rabbits will use M&Ms when they prank pools. If you're familiar with Caddyshack, that'll be really super funny.
Whoops.
Score yourself 1 point for each correct answer, and they're going to go from the easiest to hardest.
Hold on, what?
Rabbits would use M&Ms if they were to prank pools.
What
Oh,
what
I
do
get it now. I get it now.
Okay.
I get it.
Thank
Okay.
you,
I'm
thank
remembering
you.
that
I'll
scene
explain
in the
after
movie.
the quiz. I'll explain after the quiz. All right, pencils at the ready. Question 1.
Pens.
What brand of candy bar causes all the commotion in the swimming pool? I'll take one of 2 answers, actually. One of 2 answers, believe it or not.
Did anybody watch this movie as research beforehand?
We did. We watched it the other day.
I was doing multiple things at once.
He was
while I
coding,
on.
which means he was not paying attention. I was paying attention.
Okay, good job. You get an extra point. Give yourself an extra point.
I need that extra handicap point.
Question 2. In addition to golf and swimming, name 2 other outdoor sports activities we know that are available at the beautiful Bushwood Country Club.
Why do I get a point? I'm the one that paid for her to watch it.
Wait a minute.
But you didn't
said-
watch it. You watched Batman instead.
Listen, I lost interest at a certain point. Wait, what was the question?
You know,
right
it's
now?
an old movie, but it still holds up pretty well. Except for the haircuts.
Speaking of this movie, what
You
was
said
the,
other than golf and swimming, correct?
In addition to golf and swimming,
Yeah.
name 2 other sports activities we
Okay.
know happened at the country club. That we know for sure. They were on screen or talked about.
activities other than golf or swimming?
Yes. Because the whole movie was about golf.
Was it?
And
I missed
there-
that
There were
part.
swimming pools in many scenes.
Is gopher hunting a sport?
No.
Yes.
This is conflicting
Because
answers.
if I did that, they'd lock me up and throw away the key.
This is what Bushwood offered to its club members, not what happened. It's a country club. They have many amenities. You know, they have golf and they have swimming, but they had 2 other ones that you saw on screen happen or they talked about. He's still staring at me.
Wait, okay.
Why is he staring
now,
at me?
I don't,
Go
I
to the
don't,
third question.
I don't know. Can I clarify? Does diving count towards swimming?
That would count towards swimming.
Okay, just making sure, because it's kind of not swimming.
It doesn't have to do with the pool.
Okay.
Was it covered by Family Guy?
I don't know. Question 3.
Question 3.
I forgot how to pronounce his name. Rodney Dangerfield's character.
Ed Cervic.
Cervic, that's right.
What? Why are you confused?
El Cervic.
We're only on 3, so I'm backwards on my numbers.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had
so
1
what
and
are you
2.
on?
1 was what caused the commotion in the swimming pool. 2, which has gone on for so long. This question is so long. It's like the FSA. If FSA was 1 question, this would be it.
Kids that
Question
finish
3.
their SATs sooner.
Rodney Dangerfield's Al Cervic had a wife. Why wasn't she at the country club with him? They get harder. JL's thinking.
I was too busy laughing at everything Dangerfield said to pay attention to that.
I'm not a Dangerfield fan, but I think this was probably his best movie.
I'm not either, and I think this movie reminded me why I'm not.
You opened for the diving horse.
I think this one was better.
Really?
Yeah.
Easy Money was good, too.
I never saw Easy Money.
Oh, that's a good one.
Question 4. What is the name of Al's Jewish, in quotes, friend that he brings to Bushwood? What is the name of Al's Jewish, in quotes, and Jewish friend that he brings to Bushwood? See, if you weren't playing on your phone and watching the movie, you wouldn't be staring at me.
I wasn't. Well, hang on my phone.
What were you doing instead of watching the movie?
She just told you I was coding.
Coding? What does that mean?
What were you coding? M&M's?
Oh, coding.
Oh.
Not
Coding.
coating.
Yeah,
Coding.
I thought you were coaching, like painting.
I thought it was
no.
with a T, not a D.
Okay, I got
Coding.
it. You're coding. And question number 5. What name does Judge Smalls give his yacht? What name does Judge Smalls give his yacht?
I don't remember. Like, I remembered laughing, but I don't remember. Question mark.
And nope, an answer must be given.
Question mark.
He called it the question mark.
He might have.
He's not the Riddler. He's
He
a
might
judge who was
All right,
also
all pencils
He was
down.
also a journalist.
What brand of candy bar causes all the commotion in the swimming pool? One of 2 answers are accepted. Nicole.
Baby Ruth.
Yes, that's an acceptable answer.
What? Why?
Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruth.
I have Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruth.
What's the other?
Baby Runt? That's
Which is what the label says.
That's actually what the label said.
Oh, because they probably couldn't use Baby
Yep.
Ruth.
Mhm.
Ah.
Yep. You got it.
Yes.
All right. The question that probably should have been the last question. In addition to golf and swimming, name 2 other outdoor sports activities we know are available at the beautiful Bushwood Country Club. JL.
Tennis and sailing.
Close. Faraz?
I have tennis and bowling.
Very close. Nicole?
Tennis and shuffleboard.
Very close. Y'all got tennis,
Okay.
but it was horseback riding.
Oh, that's why. Why is close is like half?
Yeah, you
mean?
get half.
Okay, so do we get a point for each one, or
You get,
At the
for
end of
this
this,
one,
does it
if you
really
got
matter?
tennis, you get 1/16 of a point.
what? Well, it's okay because I'm still up 1 point from everybody else.
That's right. You got an extra point.
I did get an extra
Because you
point.
actually watched the movie.
Yes, I did.
Rodney Dangerfield had a wife. Why wasn't she at the country club with him for Roz? What happened to his wife?
She was getting implants.
She was getting implants. That is so close. Very, 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 very close.
And I guess I'm so wrong.
Jail.
I have she's dead.
She's dead. That is correct, Nicole.
I said she was visiting her parents.
That's not close at all.
I know.
She wasn't getting implants, but she was planted into the
But
ground.
how is that closer than visiting her parents? That kills you inside a little.
Because she was planted into the ground. She was
Oh. Hi, Nicole's mom. Sorry.
Oh, I love what I guessed. I was too busy laughing at all his one-liners to pay attention to this.
dead. What is the name of Al's Jewish, quote, Jewish friend that he brings to Bushwood? Nicole.
Moses?
Moses? No Faraz?
I have IDK.
IDK. Is that initials for something?
I don't know.
Isaiah?
You don't know if that's initials for something?
It's the initials for I don't know. Yeah, abbreviation.
Isaiah?
Like Irving?
David Kushlansky?
The acronym for I don't know.
Oh,
is
okay.
IDK.
All right, no, that is
which
wrong.
Is why
You
I
get
put that.
subtract 5 points.
Wang.
Yes, Mr. Wang, because he was
Oh.
Asian.
And
Rodney
and he
told
was taking
him-
pictures
yep.
and everything, and he's like, "Don't
And just tell him you're Jewish.
just tell him you're Jewish."
And what is the name of Judge Small's yacht?
Question
Jail.
mark.
The smell one.
Nope. You have question mark?
No, I have Millennium Falcon.
Millennium Falcon is no, it's not correct at all. It's the Flying Wasp.
Oh, that was pretty
Flying
close
Wasp.
too.
Nicole wins.
Nicole wins. You get to clean up after the podcast.
Shit. That's never how it's been before.
Oh, I love when you get bonus points and you have to clean.
All right, let's talk about Caddyshack.
Yay.
The bulk of this piece was taken from the book Caddyshack, The Making of a Hollywood Cinderella Story by Chris Nashawaty. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Nashawaty. Caddyshack was released in 1980 and was directed by Harold Ramis. It was written by Brian Doyle Murphy.
Murray, not Murphy.
That's what I said.
You said Murphy.
I said Murray.
You said Murphy.
No, I'm pretty sure I said Murray.
No, you didn't.
All right, let's replay the tape.
Murray's Lodge says
Murray.
that he said Murray.
Which is weird that I would say Murphy. Because it's actually Bill Murray's brother.
Yeah, so it's not Bill Murphy.
It's Murphy. He pronounced it different. That's why.
He didn't want to be lumped in with his brother.
Yeah, he wanted to be less famous.
Which he still is.
It was written
Yeah.
by...
Doyle Murray. It starred Michael O'Keefe, Chevy Chase, Rodney Dangerfield, Ted Knight, and Bill Murphy.
No.
Murray.
Yes.
Okay. Caddyshack, it's amazing that now you're correcting me on these names. I feel a role reversal. Caddyshack was Ramis's directorial debut and grossed nearly $40 million at the box office, which if you translate it today, that'd be $1 billion. A sequel, Caddyshack 2, followed in 1988, although only Chase reprised his role, and the film was poorly received. Probably because nobody wanted to work with Chase again.
It was an awful movie, though.
Yeah. I think I saw it, but I don't remember it. The original film has garnered a large cult following and has been hailed by Time and ESPN as one of the funniest sports movies of all time.
Because it is.
It is pretty funny. It holds up today.
It does. Ramis and Kenny had written and scored a hit with the movie Animal House, so the movie studio was excited to have them back at the helm of another comedy. It was basically going to be Animal House, but on a golf course, plus a puppet gopher.
I'm surprised, because Faraz didn't like the movie. I'm surprised you weren't all about the puppet gopher. You like puppets.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just felt out of place to me.
I just guessed that he liked
Is
puppets,
it
and he agreed.
The film was clearer?
I like the Muppets.
Yeah.
So
I like Yoda.
That's why I guessed.
Yeah.
It was an interesting subplot. I thought it demonstrated Bill Murray's kind of comedy, but it just felt kind of out of place with everything else that was going on. Like, it was a distraction from the regular story.
Well, you're going to learn why.
Okay. Can't wait.
All right,
Can't
good,
wait.
because I was going to start spewing facts out. And I'm
No,
like,
no,
Well,
don't do
just
it.
save
They'll
it
be
for
in
the
there.
pod.
Because Caddyshack went into pre-production in the early summer of 1979, and the studio, Orion, had insisted upon finding an A-list star for the movie. Ramis knew that he needed Chevy Chase.
He wasn't always a dick.
No, but I like Bill Murray a lot more. And
Yeah.
Kenny and Chase were longtime friends, and he approached him about the movie. Chase liked the idea of spending time on a movie set with other actors and comedians who could make him laugh. Also, Chase was all for mocking golf. Chase said, quote,
I swear to God, there better be an unquote at the end of this.
Hold on, I'm not done
I
yet.
didn't put those in.
I don't.
No, don't worry, because
She gets upset when there's no unquote.
Because Chase said, quote, I'd never gone for golf. I was more of a tennis player, so either way he was at Bushwood. My father told me to stay away from Republicans on golf courses. They just wasted the day so they could stay away from their families.
What? Who would do that?
What?
That's not part of the quote. I mean, what the hell was that? Walking around like it was some kind of aerobic sport?
Hold on, wait. Why is Chevy Chase a dick? I don't know about
Unquote.
this stuff.
He's not well thought of in Hollywood.
What happened? I thought,
He's-
like, after
no.
National Lampoon series,
he was
No.
just a a-hole to everybody he
Yes.
ever worked with.
Oh.
He got fired
Yeah.
from Community for being an a-hole.
And Community was like his first working job in a really long time. He's been blacklisted.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know.
But Dan Harmon is not always the smartest person, so he hired Chevy Chase. I do love you, Dan.
Next, for the part of the film's super wealthy Al Cesarevic.
Cervic.
Hmm.
No, that's not part of it.
Think of, like, part of a woman's body.
Yes, I know
Oh.
what I'm supposed to be thinking of,
Okay.
but is that how you're supposed to say it?
Yes.
Belly button.
Thank you, Faraz. Ramis had originally been thinking of Don Rickles. However, Rodney Dangerfield was becoming a staple on The Tonight Show, often reducing Johnny Carson to tears with laughter. Ramis liked the performances and brought him into the studio to audition. When Rodney came in to talk to the producers, it was said that he brought in a plastic bag full of Coke and yelled,
Where's the pussy?
Now, remember in Seinfeld when we talked about Johnny Carson and how important he was at the time to comedians? That's how Rodney Dangerfield, or Dangerfield, as we called him in Ohio, we called him Dangerfield, got the job because Johnny Carson, gave the wink and the sign and put him on the couch and just had a ball with him. And that's before the internet. That's how you got your job.
crazy.
And I can't imagine Don Rickles in this part at all. He'd be way too mean.
No, he'd just be mean. Like, Dangerfield's insulting and funny all at once.
Funny, but like naive funny. Like he doesn't
Like,
realize.
he doesn't realize he's being that insulting as he says it.
Yeah, and Don Rickles would have been just straight out for the jugular.
Oh, yeah.
Dangerfield's pay for the role was $35,000, and he credits Caddyshack for launching his movie career, but would often complain that he lost $150,000 while doing the film due to having given up headlining in Vegas to shoot it. So what, like comedian headlining?
Yeah.
Okay. Ted Knight was a 6-time Emmy nominee for playing the cluelessly pompous anchorman Ted Baxter on The Mary Tyler Moore Show and was cast to play the President Club Major Domo. Is that what it's called?
Presiding.
Presiding. I'm sorry.
Presiding Club Major Domo.
Origato, Major Domo.
Domo.
Judge L.U. Smalls. Smalls? Yes. Smells. Knight had been diagnosed with cancer and took the role thinking that working on a movie set would be the best medicine.
I'll edit all that pausing out.
End scene.
For the role of Danny Noonan, 2 actors were considered.
Noonan.
Michael O'Keefe and Mickey Rourke. Rourke was considered a little too intense and methody for a country club comedy. Ramis liked O'Keefe's good old boy nature and that he was a scratch golfer. However...
Wait a second. Once again, why would you want Mickey Rourke in this at all? That's crazy.
Hold on.
He was the bad guy from Iron Man 2, right?
Yeah, he's super intense in every role he's ever done. And I don't even think he's ever smiled.
Oh, you said Mickey Rourke. I was thinking Mickey Rooney. I was like, dude,
No,
he's going
Mickey
to college.
Rourke.
Isn't Mickey Rooney too damn old to be playing this part?
No, Mickey Rourke.
Whoops. Mickey Rourke.
I mean, look at his career. He was a drunk barfly. He was an
Didn't he used to be a
out-of-work
boxer,
wrestler.
too?
Well, that was like his... He did that instead of keeping his
Acting?
face pretty for acting. He actually went into the
Yeah,
real
now he blames
ring.
plastic surgery for the boxing.
Yeah. This is crazy. Go ahead.
However, O'Keefe had actually lied to Ramis,
Dun, dun, dun.
saying that he'd been playing golf for years. Quote, after I got the part, I thought, I guess I have to get my shit together and get a golf swing. Unquote.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Brown noser. But since you have an actual brown nose, I guess it fits.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and maybe more later.
What?
No.
No, edit that part out. What? What?
My mom listens to this.
Oh my gosh. Keep going.
Hi, Nicole's mom.
Luckily, the actor's father pulled some strings to get his son lessons with golf pro Tom
I have no idea.
Neporte, who had won Bob Hope Desert Classic in 1967. O'Keefe ended up playing golf every day for 6 weeks before filming. Orion.
Are you auditioning for something?
What do you mean?
Because you're reading.
I read stories to my kids.
And that's how you do it?
I do like enthusiasm.
You read it like Mickey
Sometimes
Rourke.
I do characters. See, do you want a character?
Sure, do a character for this last line.
Orion still wanted one big name star to join Chase. Dangerfield.
Is this Smoking Yoda?
This is Batman. Can't you tell?
Oh, that's Batman?
That's Batman.
Is that chain-smoking Yoda?
That's what I thought it was. All right, don't do Chain-Smoking Yoda. Do something different. Do a female voice.
So Ramis, Kenny, and Doyle Murray reached out to
Murphy.
someone they'd always been able to rely on. Brian's brother, Bill Murray.
That was really sexy.
Wow. That's like Elmo reading the Penthouse magazine.
I am so turned on right now.
Elmo lied.
What Brian didn't mention to Bill was that his character didn't quite exist on the page yet, Nicole. That would explain some of your why is this all kind of thrown together kind of deal that you were complaining about earlier.
Got it.
Yep. They decided they would just figure it out as they shot the film. Next, Ramis began looking for a country club to shoot the film. It wasn't going to be easy due to the end of the film containing a huge explosion. Both Ramis and Doyle Murray wanted Indian Hill Club in Winneka? Do you think that's correct? Winneka? Why did you let me, suffer?
Because I have no idea if that's really how it's pronounced.
Okay, but it's closer than what I had, which was in their home state of Illinois.
Go Cubs, go.
It was here that the brothers Murray had caddied as kids, and it was also the inspiration for Caddyshack. The studio had other plans. They wanted the film in theaters by the summer of 1980, which meant they had to shoot in the fall. Not exactly the ideal time to make a sunny, short-sleeved golf comedy by Lake Michigan.
No, it's already freezing by then, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Michigan sucks. Mm-hmm. The studio wanted Ramis to look for a location in Southern California. Ramis wasn't fond of the idea as the last thing he wanted on his first outing as a director was to have the studio swinging by and micromanaging every aspect of the shoot, which is smart on his part.
Yes. So they refocused and went to Florida.
Yay!
Because where else would you go when you're trying to get away from somebody?
And go golfing.
Exactly. The country club, Rolling Hills, now Grande Oaks Golf Club. would end up
Grand. It's just grand.
You sure?
It's not Ariana Grande. It's just grand.
But it's spelled Grande.
But the E is silent.
How do you know?
Oh, God.
I know.
Yeah, I think that's just like the fancy way of spelling grand.
Thank you.
Well, at the Grande Oaks Golf Club would end up being the location. It was originally a 140-acre swamp with an abundance of trees about a half hour north of Miami. The club would let the production shut down 4 holes at a time, and the regulars could play around them. For the giant fireballs set off at the end of the movie, Ramis told the Rolling Hills board not to worry. The script would be changing. Which was sort of true. The script would be changing, just not that part of it. The production brought in PGA Tour pro John Cusano to try to make the actor's collection of terrible golf swings look passable on film. Only O'Keefe and Murray had any chance to pass as a golfer, though. Dangerfield took one lesson and immediately quit. That's why he gets no respect.
Yes.
I don't get no respect.
I wish I could do a good Rodney Dangerfield impersonation, but I can't.
No, that was too Andrew Dice Clay.
That's who I'm dressed up as for today's episode, by the way.
The Dice Man.
Labor Day weekend of 1979, a week before filming, a Category 5 storm was brewing. So everyone hunkered down in their rooms, filled their bathtubs with water, and stocked up on batteries, booze, and drugs. Hurricane
Sounds like the last
David...
hurricane we had.
Yeah. Hurricane David would end up causing a lot more... Hurricane David would end up causing more than $1.5 billion in damage. A few of the Rolling Hills sets were made useless, and the first floor of the motel where production offices were set up had been flooded. A nice plague of earthworms were left wriggling in the carpets. The cast hurricane party, however, was a roaring success and would continue for the next 3 months during the shoot. The Caddyshack script was changed many times, at least 5. Then, with each new round of revisions, they were color-coded and bound together by brass fasteners.
So, quick question. If Chevy Chase was like a dick the whole time,
Yeah.
was he invited to these hurricane parties?
Yes.
Yes.
So, like, was he a dick in them?
This was pre-Dick.
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 Yeah, this was him starting...
How
this
was he
was
post-dick?
early in his career, so he was...
Because he's an A-list here, so it seems like a peak of his career.
He was a bona fide star, but he had only done a couple films
Why is he an A-list actor then?
because those films were successful.
Yeah, National
like
Lampoon's
a
Vacation.
Chris Pratt sort of, right?
Yeah.
Like he'd be Pratt's like A-list, but he's only been in like a handful of movies.
Yeah.
It all
Okay.
depends on the level of the movies that you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're making money, if you make like 1 or 2 movies and they make money, you're A-list.
You're A-list.
Until you fall off that list.
Then
Okay.
you're B-list.
All right, I think I get it now.
If you go from A-list to B-list, you might as well kiss your career
We're
goodbye.
internet celebrities, so we're S-list.
Shitless.
When shooting began, on Dangerfield's first scene, the comedian was supposed to wait behind a door on the pro shop set until Ramis said, "Action!" Then he would burst in as if he owned the place and list all of the pricey equipment he wanted to buy. Then, out of the corner of his eye, he would spot a mannequin wearing an ugly golf hat and say, "This is the worst looking hat I ever saw." Or do you want to do the quotes? You can. Behind him would be Knight, wearing that very same hat. Dangerfield notices and says, "Jail,"
Oh, it looks good on you, though.
and rolls his big bug eyes.
Seriously, did you get a contract with Audible or something?
What does it matter? Does it really matter to you? I'm a good reader.
You are.
I am a good reader.
No, you're doing really good.
You're
it's
doing
just
great.
you
do realize the way like Dangerfield says everything is how I talk to you at work half the time, right?
Now I do.
You just never put so much emphasis. This is like
Is that where you get,
show
oh,
number
you didn't know?
55.
No, that's
What do you mean?
wrestling.
I'm a good
Yes.
reader.
I didn't say you're not a good reader. I'm just saying you never seemed so enthusiastic before, and you didn't even watch the movie.
I kind of did.
Okay.
No.
Was I not enthusiastic about Star
didn't.
Wars? Are you kidding?
No, you were.
Just
but
wait till next week for our topic.
It was an impassioned
Rodney
performance.
Dangerfield. Life, times, career, inspiration for Podcast 42.
God, is that really the inspiration?
Yeah, just wait till next week when we read about it.
It's JL doing an hour's worth of imitation of Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh my god!
It's
And I'm going to get no respect for doing it either.
I don't get no respect.
So we will be bringing alcohol for that one.
Don't we? For
We
every
always
show.
have alcohol.
No, I meant like liquor.
Yes.
Yes.
When Ramis rolled the camera,
Whoa.
when Ramis rolled the camera, hit the clappers, and called action, Dangerfield just stood there. The director walked over and asked, "You're laughing, Chris."
Keep going. Keep going. I'm laughing at the script.
The director walked over and asked if there was a problem. Was he ready? JL.
Sure.
Dangerfield replied. So Ramis would try again and call action, to which the same thing would happen, which was absolutely nothing.
All right, you read my Rodney bits too.
I'm trying not to laugh at announcer voice over here.
You have to read it matter-of-factly, not announcerly.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Ramis told Rodney that when he called action, that would be his cue to come in and do the scene. Rodney replied,
You mean do my bit?
Ramis tried again and called action. Still nothing from Dangerfield. Ramis laughed and then said, Okay, Rodney, now do your bit. Dangerfield then proceeded to nail the scene, even improvising with the line,
You buy a hat like this, I bet you get a free bowl of soup.
So anytime Dangerfield was in a scene, Ramis would just call out, Okay, Rodney, do your bit.
Why couldn't he just get it?
Because it was
What?
his first movie.
It's his first movie.
He'd never done a movie before. He actually thought that he wasn't funny during this because...
Hold on, you're getting into
Yeah,
script stuff.
I need to read the script before.
Sorry.
But you
don't-
got to remember, he's a stand-up comedian, which
Yeah.
means he doesn't answer to anybody. He just does what he does.
Yeah.
Walks
And
out,
you
does
either
his
like
thing.
it or not. So he's his own boss for all the time, and now this is a completely new environment.
Yeah.
Scott Comley, who played another caddy, Tony D'Annunzio, that's right.
Like I said, JL should just handle all the names.
He knows. He's so good at names.
This one is not even Japanese.
He was
For the
good at the
per-
Japanese names,
For
too.
the person who initializes his first and middle name, he's so good at saying names.
What?
His name is JL, but he's so good at saying names, even though his
Well,
name is just two
yeah.
letters.
Yeah.
Mine's
'Cause he
two
doesn't need to
letters
say
because I
the
had
name.
to learn how to say everybody else's name,
I
not
know,
my own.
When
When
you
you're
become
poor and
a-
can't afford vowels, you learn how to say your name with letters.
When you
But
become
when
a
you have to
master
talk
of
to
names,
people
you
with
can do what you
class
want.
and standards, you have to know how to say D'Annunzio.
Well, that guy remembers Dangerfield once sitting alone, furious. When Comley asked him what was wrong, Dangerfield said,
Nobody's laughing at me. I'm bombing out there.
Comley told him he wasn't bombing. The crew wasn't allowed to laugh. They would ruin the take.
That's back when he opened up for the diving horse.
Is that the other movie?
Yeah, that's Back to School.
Okay.
When he does the triple Lindy.
That's a different show.
Next week. Odd. Ramis began to set aside time on the nights before Dangerfield scenes to help his nerves. They would go over his lines and come up with new jokes. Ramis said of Dangerfield, he needed every word, every syllable in place, every comma, every period. Chevy Chase thought that Dangerfield couldn't act. When a scene was shot, it was supposed to be done the same way each time. However, Dangerfield would often say something different with each take. Chase said of Dangerfield, he was not familiar with how movies are made.
See, he seems like kind of a dick here, doesn't he?
Yeah. He just said,
Well, I mean, it's understandable though, right? But
when you got people telling you how
Yeah.
great you were and how you were Saturday Night Live, and now you've had a couple hit movies, it just went to his head.
He has no point in saying this because if you watch Caddyshack, do we talk about his scene with the oil at all in this? Because I didn't read anything.
No.
Chevy Chase improvised most of that scene. So if he's going to complain about improvising, he made somebody, if you watch the scene where he's putting the oil on, I can't think of her name,
I don't know her name.
the blonde?
Lacey
Yeah.
Underall, and all that. You see how uncomfortable she is because she didn't know what he was going to do next and all that. But he's going to get mad at Dangerfield for improvising a few lines here and there to try and get bigger laughs for each take.
Yeah. Well,
So
Interesting.
it wasn't even the best part of that movie, so.
Chevy Chase?
Yeah.
No.
No, it was definitely Dangerfield and Murray.
Oh, yeah. Dangerfield and Murray are the best part.
So not the gopher.
No, definitely
the
not
Gopher's
Gopher.
number 3. He definitely still ranks above Chevy Chase also. Number 4 is the soundtrack by Kenny Loggins because it's all right.
And number 5 is the divot from scene number 6.
Oh, yeah, that's a good divot. At the time of shooting, Chase's marriage to actress Jacqueline Carlin was falling apart.
Maybe he was a dick. Do we know why?
No, but I'm sure we'll find out on the next episode of Chevy Chase, Why Are You a Dick? He was hoping to relax and indulge in some recreational vices that the film's young crew was only too happy to provide. Quote, It was the time when these things were considered benign. John Belushi was still alive. Smoking pot had been going on forever.
Forever.
Even after a 6th draft of the script was completed in mid-October, new lines were constantly being written for Chase. It was Kenny's idea to have Chase make the bionic sound effect from The $6 Million Man when he was putting. No.
Yeah.
No.
Wait. How is your $6 Million Man sound? Perf, 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 perf.
I hear her making that sound.
Stop! Oh my god! I just had dinner.
You remember my mom listens to this, right?
Not this episode.
She listens to every episode. Chase felt like he was back in SNL's Studio 8H. Each day, he would add his own dialogue with lots of improvisation that Ramis openly encouraged. Ramis called it ad-libbing with a purpose. Midway through production, Bill Murray finally showed up on the set. Murray had only 6 days to shoot. Murray's first scene was his Dalai Lama monologue. If you remember, his character, Carl Spackler, hadn't existed in the script yet. Murray had his own ideas of how his character would be, none of which he shared with his director before the cameras rolled. Ramis had left large gaps throughout shooting the script for Murray. The director had envisioned Carl as a whacked-out Harpo Marx, popping up to do silent bits of bizarre slapstick. Ramis handed him the script pages, more as a springboard than something to stick to. When Ramis started filming, Murray stuck out his jaw and curled his lower lip in a strange way. Murray was going into his honker character, one that he'd been perfecting since doing improv at Second City in Chicago.
What character?
Where is it? Honker.
Okay, just making sure.
The thing about the Dalai Lama.
No. Put Batman to bed.
Thanks. I spilled my beer doing that. Thanks a lot.
Give me the full Faraz. No, I don't want Batman.
The thing about the Dalai Lama scene is that it feels like it's completely spontaneous, but it was actually shot over 7 hours. However...
Tell me more, Dad. Tell me more.
I can't talk like this very long.
However, Murray did his entire Cinderella story scene in one unbroken take.
He's cracking himself up.
During each take, Murray would toss in new things to keep it fresh and unpredictable. Realizing Murray and Chase had no scenes together, Ramis, Kenny, and Doyle Murray, along with Murray and Chase, sat down to brainstorm what might happen in a scene between Spackler and Webb, and why it would happen in the context of the story. In the end, they decided it really didn't have to make sense. It has nothing to do with the movie, said Ramis, but actually, no scene has anything to do with the movie. They decided that Chase would be playing night golf, and the premise was going to be, do you mind if I play through, after he hit a ball into Carl's shack, and it landed on his special grass you could play on, and smoke.
They talked it over lunch and had worked out the beats of the scene, but hadn't bothered to write anything down. The scene would be pure improv. They shot it that same
really
night.
shows when you watch that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was a good scene.
No.
It's not my favorite scene.
No, not at all.
The leaf blower, I think, at the end for him to clean up his room or whatever.
Yeah.
It was...
I thought that was the best part of it. It was
I like when he takes
uncomfortable.
the rags off his couch. Like, here, let me clean up the place, and just
Yeah.
takes like.
And
his
it's
sheet-
just as filthy.
and it's just as bad. It's just like, oh no, don't do that on my behalf.
It was all Murray. Murray carried that. He didn't have anything to work with. That's the problem.
I feel like Chase just didn't want to work with him in that scene in any way.
No, it was terrible. They shot it that same night. The idea was that Chase would come in, hit a golf ball, and then the two actors would do the scene. They did it a couple times, building on it with each take, which is only about 2 or 3 times.
Murray says that he had never really done anything with Chase before, that they always had sort of a funny relationship. And by funny relationship, he meant that they had come to fists on Saturday Night Live once. Of the scene with Chase, Murray said, "Okay, I like that when you did that. Let's just keep going." We kept going, and it was funny because Ty Webb is not far from who Chevy is. When Webb would laugh at Carl, Carl thought it meant, "Hey, he's my friend." It struck home as to what Ramis says the movie was really all about. Status.
Dun, dun, dun. And that's some of the making of Caddyshack. There's more in that book. We just took a brief excerpt from it.
There's a book?
Oh, yeah, there's a book. There's
That's
a
what I
documentary.
said in the beginning.
Everything.
This is based on that book.
I feel like you're glaring at me.
I'm not glaring. I'm just in awe of your reading skills. But you know what? It's time for Fishbowl Facts.
Fishbowl facts.
Grab a fact from the fishbowl and we'll read
Facts
them.
from the fishbowl.
Fishbowl.
I get it.
It's gonna be.
We're going to need
fishbowl
another
facts.
song
It's
from
gonna
Tremo.
be May. That's what it is.
No, it's gonna be fishbowl facts.
It's gonna be
because
May.
You're going to have to talk to Cremo and get us another theme song.
We have a theme song?
I actually
For
know
the
this
beat
fishbowl
cooler.
fact.
All right, Froz, what's your fishbowl fact?
Ramis took inspiration for the movie from the Marx Brothers. Dangerfield would act as Groucho, Murray as Harpo, and Chase as Chico.
Why did you pinch yourself in the beginning of this? Is that why your voice
Did you
was so
just
high?
punch yourself in the nuts so you can sound higher?
That was really weird. The sound effects for the gopher were reused from the TV series Flipper.
Wait, we didn't talk about the gopher really at all.
No,
Because the gopher's awesome and just dances and...
we could
yeah.
talk for like 10 hours on this, but we're trying
Why?
to keep it in an hour to an hour and a half
But
episode.
I didn't get the gopher at all.
The gopher digs holes in the golf course. They had to get rid of the gopher.
No, I think I obviously understood that part.
Okay.
I didn't understand what was so appealing about the gopher.
Because it was funny.
It wasn't really that
wasn't-
funny.
He wasn't like Slimer.
Oh, we had a question while watching it. Wait.
Whoa! What? You're really going to compare the gopher from Caddyshack to Slimer?
Oh, Slimer's there for comedic relief. He has no point for the movie at all.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
talking about Ghostbusters, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The gopher has a purpose in the movie. You
Another
see
Bill
him
Murray
at the
movie.
beginning, you see him at the end,
And
you see
Harold
him in the
Ramis.
middle. Without him, you get no Bill Murray.
That's the only purpose of the gopher is to give justification for an improv character.
So Bill Murray can save the movie from Chevy Chase.
That's true.
But I
Okay.
thought that was Rodney Dangerfield's job.
Oh, but he gets no respect, and that's why Bill Murray had to come in.
Is that line from this movie? Did I miss it? Okay,
He
no
says
respect?
it in every movie he's in.
Oh, okay.
That's his line.
Okay, got
It's
it.
his
It's his catchphrase.
stand-up, yeah.
I just
What was your
recognized-
question?
My question is, we both had this question. Why was Bill Murray golfing the flowers? We're like, we were like, doesn't he have to plant those? Why is he like teeing off on flowers?
Yeah, he's the groundskeeper.
He's the assistant groundskeeper. In 6 years, he plans on becoming the head groundskeeper.
That's true.
He's not going to get that job. He's,
He's
Blew
destroying
up
the flowers.
golf course.
Because
he's not going to get that
if
job.
you remember, they didn't give him a script. They just gave him a golf club and said, "Hey, Bill, do whatever you want."
And honestly, that's one of my favorite scenes because he takes the bishop out golfing after that, and the bishop has his best round, and when he doesn't make the one putt, gets struck by
Yes.
lightning.
And then he leaves him there.
Then the next time you see the bishop, he's like, "There is no God."
And that's probably the most quotable line from that movie, and it's the title of the book that we based this on, too.
There is no God.
No, a Cinderella story.
Oh,
What?
That whole scene is probably the most quoted scene from that movie. I would say that's probably the number one quoted scene is that Bill Murray scene with the flowers.
Because he's imagining himself on the PGA Tour as he's hitting it. 'Cause
Right,
he's
yeah.
192 yards out. He's going to take his 9-iron. And he
And
takes
then-
a nice shot, lets it go, and out to the hole! He does the whole thing, like where he like knocks it in from that far out to win whatever event he's doing.
If
Okay.
you say a Cinderella story, people are going to think Caddyshack over the actual Cinderella story.
no, I'm
the
not
movie
going to
A
think
Cinderella
that.
Story
You are
with
now.
Hillary.
I'm going to
Duff.
think it's Cinderella story with Hillary Duff.
And like I
And
said,
Chad Michael Murray.
it's the title of the book
yes.
of the making of Caddyshack. Is a Cinderella story because it's such a famous line. Anyway, what's your
Nicole,
fishbowl
what's your
fact?
fishbowl fact?
My fishbowl fact. Didn't you read yours?
No, we're going around this way. We're doing counterclockwise.
We just skipped. We went
No.
from Frost to me.
No,
What was
I
yours?
read mine.
Chris read his.
I missed that.
It started the gopher conversation.
Right,
Gopher.
okay.
They took flipper noises to make the gopher,
What was that?
which now you
can't
can
see.
hear if you go back and watch the movie again after hearing that.
How are we
fact.
going to watch the movie again? I only paid for one rental.
And you seem angry about it.
Mine was a free rental.
Yeah, I watched
Where?
mine for free
did
too.
you use yours? I didn't use my free rental for that. I used my free
I didn't
rental
have to use a free
for
rental
something.
for it.
Nicole
I told you
wanted.
how to
Molly's
watch
Game.
it for free.
Molly's Game, which was a movie based on a true story about a woman who ran an underground poker game with a whole crap ton of celebrities and then was arrested by the FBI.
Is
Was
that
that
your
your
fishbowl
fishbowl
fact?
fact?
No, that was the movie that we used his free rental for instead of Caddyshack.
All right. Well, what's your
Well,
fishbowl?
well,
fact?
My fishbowl fact is Kenny Loggins was the filmmaker's second choice to create original music for the opening and closing credits. Ramis originally wanted Pink Floyd, but the band declined because they were too busy touring to support The Wall.
If you'd
Sid
like to
Barrett
learn
wasn't
more about
available.
Pink Floyd, you may listen to our Pink Floyd episode.
Yes.
Pink Floyd was supposed to do the soundtrack
And
for
let
the
me
original
just say
Dune movie.
that episode is all right. And it does not take you into the danger zone.
Oh my gosh.
That's fine. Let's get footloose. Kenny Loggins is a soundtrack machine. Can we just point that out?
Okay.
Yes, he is.
You've pointed it out. Do we need to say it again?
No, we should though, because he did like every great soundtrack from the 80s.
Top Gun.
Oh,
Footloose, Caddyshack, list goes on. Dangerfield character barks, "Let's go while we're young." Oh, I should have read this for when Nicole was bantering on there. The USGA, the United States Golf Association, used "While We're Young" as the theme of a 2013 campaign aimed at getting more people to golf or return to golfing, or to get people to read their fishbowl facts.
Or to vote while we're young.
All right, Froz, what's your fishbowl fact?
That almost went in my beer. My beer is not done. I would have been so freaking pissed.
Caddyshack was Ted Knight's last movie.
That is true.
Yeah. He did not have a good time on the movie set.
Why?
He had prostate cancer, I believe.
Well, yeah, we know that,
Or
but-
colorectal cancer or something.
He wasn't into the partying either. He's more of a serious actor.
Oh,
Even though he's doing comedy
'Cause
and he's done comedy forever, but he's the acting part. He's like, we should work and not party.
right. But he took the part for the comedians that he was going to work with, right?
Well, I think he took the part. Well, he took. It was in the script. He took
Yeah,
the part
yeah,
because
exactly. That's why I'm saying that.
he had cancer and he thought it'd be good for him to get.
Yeah.
out
So
of the
apparently
house.
he thought, no, this was not something I should have done.
Well, he did comedic stuff before, but this is National Lampoon. It's like to
Yeah.
the next level comedians. Bill Murray's improvised Cinderella story scene originally went on for 30 minutes.
That
Oh
was
my
the one where
God.
he destroyed the flowers.
Yeah, your favorite
So
scene.
how many flowers did he destroy?
I don't know. They didn't have to worry about
It was a half hour of destroying flowers. That's
Do
so
we know
sad.
the fallout from the golf course after the explosion? Because remember they lied about the
Maybe we will
explosions.
learn in our fishbowl facts.
Oh.
If not, you should read the book.
Yes.
Caddyshack, a
Read the
Cinderella
book.
story.
Ramis had never played a round of golf in his life prior to directing the movie. Fishbowl facts. Fishbowl.
Initially, the production wasn't allowed to use real explosives, but the filmmakers took the club's unsuspecting owners out to lunch so they could blow up the green anyway.
Nice. Nice.
I love the 80s.
But no, but that doesn't answer the question. What did the golf course owners have to say about it?
Oh,
Asshole.
that wasn't
Just threw his fishbowl facts in my beer that has not been finished.
Fishbowl fact in the
You're
face.
welcome.
All right, Faraz, your last fishbowl fact.
You deserve that.
The shots of the gopher puppet were inserted into existing scenes after principal photography to add a narrative through line to the film. But what?
Spit it
Wow.
out.
Start over.
No.
Just-
I understand what I read.
Just start over.
It's not that. It's not the grammar or anything like that.
Okay.
It's basically saying that the shots of the gopher... All right, I'll just reread it again. The shots of the gopher puppet were inserted into existing scenes after principal photography to add a narrative through line to the film. But, like...
Oh, wait, I
it
got an
didn't-
idea to help with this. Read it as Batman.
It didn't really add anything other than
That's
an
not how
excuse for
Batman
Bill
talks.
Murray's character.
Right, they wanted Bill Murray.
But I'm saying it didn't, like...
It didn't make
bring
it-
the movie together or anything. It wasn't...
It did. Yeah, because the gopher opened the movie and the gopher closed the movie.
Oh, my God.
I didn't care
Which,
for the gopher.
if you watch the movie clearly, the gopher scenes are actually filmed on a different type of film than what everything else is, because they did that in California where they could use crisper film.
I didn't know. I didn't notice that.
Film.
So, like, when you watch it, like, it's a little brighter when the gopher is on screen because it's a different type of film.
I will tell you this. Research the script, and then I went back to watch the movie again because I hadn't seen it so long. And yeah, it's all disjointed. The story is all over the place. It doesn't make any sense at all.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But I didn't
not
notice
a
that in
This
the
is why
beginning.
story in any way. Like, you think it's going to be about Noonan and trying to get the scholarship or
Yeah.
whatever, and it's just everywhere.
It's a mess. But I never noticed that
This is
before.
why I
was
went back
too
to
busy,
coding
Too
while I was
busy
watching.
laughing. I enjoyed it still. The candy bar scene in the pool was based on an actual prank that Bill and Brian Murray played in their high school swimming pool.
That was funny. I will tell you that much. When they were cleaning out the pool and it was emptied, and then Bill Murray picked up the candy bar
Yeah.
and bit it, and the woman fainted.
It's okay.
As soon as he said it's okay, it was like he's gonna eat that shit. Literally eat that shit.
Mm-hmm.
The original rough
That
cut.
was going to be the title of the book originally,
shit.
but they couldn't put it on the store shelves.
Got it.
Yeah.
The original rough cut of the movie was 4.5 hours long. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't 4.5 hours. I could not have.
I could have
finished.
watched that.
I couldn't.
Dangerfield for 4.5 hours? Yeah.
No.
Did you know there really are caddy scholarships?
Yes, I
No.
believe that.
And that was Caddyshack. It's over, Faraz. You never have to watch it again.
Don't.
I barely
you
watched it the
dare.
first time.
Should I go for the 3-pointer?
Yes.
You
You
suck.
missed.
All right, well, let's get to the beer because this is a complicated beer, and I got lots to talk about.
Lots to talk
And
about.
I have lots
Well-
of pee to let out.
Okay, well, we'll do that after the show.
Well, you should have about that before the show started.
I did.
Well, let me tell you right off the bat. The sour one is a 1.
Yes.
Terrible, horrible.
Yes.
I'll never buy that again. The IPA here
The coconut.
is about a 2, but the mix is a 6.
Wow, that's interesting.
That
so
is really good. This
1
mix is
plus
really
2
good.
1
Equals
plus
6.
2 plus 6 is 9 divided by 3. So overall, today is a 3 for you
A 3? Okay.
because 9 divided by 3.
I highly
It's
recommend mixing these two beers and drinking it
Yeah.
like that all the time. That is a good call by the Doghead guy.
All right, I agree that the sour, the SeaQuench Ale Session Sour by Dogfish Head is definitely a 1. It is way too sour for my taste. I don't really taste the lime, I just taste the sour. However, I'm going to disagree with Chris. I very much like the Lupu-Luau IPA, the coconut one.
Did I mention my grandma had... Oh, never mind.
Yes, you did, and you found a cream for that.
Yes.
We heard before.
All right, just
I
checking.
didn't get that.
Don't worry about it.
I
You
actually...
obviously didn't get the cream.
I really, really enjoyed it because I enjoyed the taste of coconut. And I felt, even though it was an IPA, I didn't find it was bitter. I didn't find it was too hoppy. So I'm going to actually give that a 5. It might not be 6 worthy, but it is definitely 5. And let me take one more sip of the mix. The mix of the two is okay. It's not really my favorite. It's not my favorite.
JL has disappointed face.
I'll give it a 4.
I'll accept.
That's JL's
Okay.
disappointment face. That looked like pure rage.
We're going with disappointment.
Okay.
So what's the beer math?
So 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 4 is 10, divided by 3 is still about a 3-ish if you average it out.
3.32.
3.33, 33, 33, 33, 33, 3.
Faraz, what about you?
Remember, it's a 6-point scale, not a 5-point scale.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I did talk about it in the beginning.
Work
Just
with
making
us
sure you
here.
remember.
The coconut-centric something IPA. What is this called?
Lupu-Luau.
Oh.
Lupu-Luau.
I should have brought my koozie.
By itself, I didn't care for it either way. Honestly, I think both these beers need each other. So I think that's a good call on the recommendation to mix them because I wouldn't drink one of these out of the 6-pack. But going on from there to the sour one,
So what was that, a 0?
I mean, I would do the amount that I gave it, that I actually physically drank it.
A 1?
A sip?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, about a sip, I think.
You're going to have some
just try it.
rough
It didn't
math
really-
on this, Nicole.
It didn't do anything for me, so I just wouldn't be able to continue it. It's a beer that I would just give to Nicole to finish for me.
He does that a lot.
So 0.5 in the math scale, I think.
The sour one, yeah, I would do the same thing and just give it to Nicole. But as the mix, it definitely adds more drinkability to it. What are we ranking the mix out of?
6?
Out of
thing.
6. As if it were a beer on its own.
Yes.
As a mix, I could probably do 1 out of 6. Because like Nicole said, I don't think it does more than they do on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, if I can do nothing with them individually, at least I can do 1 together.
Okay, so let's say half, because usually when he drinks a beer, he'll have about half and then be like, you can finish this.
So really, we're just getting a 1 out
half
of this.
plus half is
Yeah.
1, plus 1 is 2, divided by 3 is...
Negative.
Is about 0.66666666. Well, so I'll round up to 1. He
Yeah.
gives it a 1 today.
Lame. You know what? The lime sour by itself, I'm going to give a 2. Because I'm not just a big fan of sours. And you really do get more of the sour than the lime. But the
Yes.
lime taste is in there. So out of sours, it is pretty good. It's probably the best I've had. Lupu-Luau, I'm not big on coconut. So I would try it on its own. And I could probably do 2 because of the coconut taste. But I got to go with Chris on this one. It's a 6 all the way when you do the mixture.
Yes, the mix
It's
is
a
awesome.
phenomenal mix.
So 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 6 is 10, divided by 3 is 3.33333.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you and I tied for our rating
And
this
me.
week.
That was the 3 as well.
Were you?
Yeah.
Were you?
Yes.
What were
Yes.
your ratings again? Say it.
I forget. It was 6 for the mix. I think it was 1 for the sour and
We all pretty much
3?
equaled the
Yeah, it
same,
was
except
3
for
for
Faraz,
the
who
Okay.
just went straight
IPA.
1.
Fraz did not care for any of it.
no, he's had a horrible
That's
episode.
okay.
Why?
You didn't like the beer. You didn't like the movie.
He doesn't like Rodney Dangerfield.
You don't like Jail's impersonation of Rodney
What do you mean?
Dangerfield.
I have referred to it.
That's fine. I don't like
What
Faraz's
if you
impersonation
try-
of Batman, so it's okay.
Jail. What if you try to do Rodney Dangerfield as Batman?
Ooh, yeah, can you do that?
I can't do that. Do you want to do that?
I'm the knight. I'm the terror. I get no respect. I'm the Batman.
I like that.
Too bad he's dead. He would make a great Batman.
He'd make a great Alfred.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Just
you
picture
want
it
from
like
me.
going
I
out
could probably
again.
see
You're
that.
going out again?
You're going out. You're going to take out Gotham and everything like that.
What do you need? What do you
I got
need?
this great
Let me
Cornish
know.
hen waiting for you. Shit, no respect.
That's pretty good.
So we got some emails. If anybody wants to email us, you can email us at podcast42show@gmail.com. 42 numerically. Don't type out the words 42. Our first email comes from Mark D. It says, thanks for the Todd McFarland episode. I'm a huge Spawn fan. Thanks to you guys, I'm now on the hunt for his coyote issues. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Mark.
Yay, Mark.
Thank you. Our next one is from Geek Chic. Chic spelled Sheik. And Geek Chic asks, what's your keychains look like? So what does everybody have on their keychains?
Nothing.
You don't have
Nothing?
anything?
You just have keys on your
Yeah, I just have
keychain?
keys.
What?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's boring.
I am boring when it comes to that.
Wow. I have a Millennium
anything
Falcon and a Simpsons radioactive stick.
Froz, what do you have?
A Millennium Falcon.
Oh my
course.
gosh, we're Millennium Falcon
Wow.
brothers.
Did yours come from the same source mine did?
It did. Oh God. Do you have a Simpsons radioactive
No.
stick?
Are you showing me a
No,
radioactive
they're
stick?
hanging up.
I'll show you
Whoa.
mine if you show me yours.
Should I be here for this? I don't want to be here for this.
You don't want to see my radioactive
hold on,
stick?
hold on.
It's not really appropriate with my boyfriend in the room.
What do you mean? He's showing me. I'm right here.
Can I show Nicole my radioactive stick?
Please, I want to see it too.
I
showed
got
you
it out
mine.
of Loot Crate. It was in this month's Loot Crate.
Oh.
This keychain. All right, what do you have, Nicole?
So I use those claws that you use when you're doing
game?
rock climbing.
Picking up trash?
No, when
No,
you do
getting the
rock
Death
climbing,
Star plans.
So you can hook them together.
Yes.
So you can hook them together and unhook them because I keep
Oh,
my
carbuncles.
Sure. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have one that has my car keys and my pass to Disney on it.
That's not really like keychain, though.
Listen to me.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm sorry.
And
Go
then I
ahead.
have the other one that has my car keys, mailbox key, my storage unit key, and it's got all of my reward stuff on it, like for the movie theater and for a couple of stores. And it's got one little Mickey keychain that says best friends, and it's got a Mickey head, and my best friends have those keychains on theirs as well.
Okay.
I feel like we're not finding the source of why I'm a bad listener.
What?
Nothing.
What?
What do you mean?
I just, there's a lot of detail, and then you have to weed out the details.
I was waiting.
You should have read
I was
that as your
waiting.
Batman
No.
voice.
I was waiting because she was like, wait. Because she described everything
You look
boring
so
about her
exasperated. You look
keychain.
so
And
exactly.
I was
You
waiting
look
for
so
the big
exasperated.
reveal, and it's just a little tiny Mickey thing.
Oh, the big
Yes.
reveal.
Well,
I thought it was going to be, I've got the Batmobile hanging off my
Well,
You
I'll tell
look like how I felt at the end of Last Jedi.
I'll tell you this much. When I was younger and Claire's was still in business, because Claire's is now, of course, bankrupt and out of business. I
They
used to.
are?
Yes.
Am I going to get my ears pierced?
I don't know.
Wait, who's out of business?
Piercing Pagoda in the mall.
Don't you remember? Nicole
Claire's.
got her second hole pierced.
Yeah, I do, but I
And
wanted to
third.
go back to that.
So I was not the first.
Oh my God. We can never air this episode. Oh, I like Nicole's mom. I've never met her, but...
He has, and I'm surprised he's saying as much as he is.
Oh. Anyway.
Mom, I wish you could see his face right now. Back when...
Suddenly this beer mixture went up to a 6.
Ever since Faraz came on the show, we've lost all our sponsors.
Oh, we should get some new sponsors.
We lost the
That would be
sponsors
fun.
before when I was first on it.
That's true.
And potential ones.
Oh my gosh.
Back when Claire's was in business, I would get a crap ton of their like big puffy keychains, and I had a keychain that was like so big, and it was like there's only one key on it,
It was like the Highlander of keychains.
It
There
was.
could be only one.
and there was only one key on it, but I had like 10
that should
keychains.
be an idea.
Oh.
You know, we should
Highlander.
really Facebook Live this because Nicole picked up 3 beer cans to demonstrate the size of her keychain.
It's
It's
probably
a mess. I don't like it
it
either.
was probably bigger than that.
Oh, is that what she said?
Speaking of messes,
I think we broke JL. I broke JL. I'm sorry.
I have so many things to say. But they're all going to offend our number one listener, Nicole's mom.
no, we cannot offend her anymore.
And I can't. She showed up to a race wearing a shirt that said, "Go Nicole, go!" Like this, like whole
And
thing.
then she
And
wore
she
her
wore a
podcast
Podcast
42
42
shirt.
She looks at me and she goes, "JL, look what I have on underneath." And I go, "Nicole's mom, no." And she's like, "No, look." And she lifts up her shirt and she's wearing a Podcast 42 shirt underneath.
Nicole's mom, no.
Oh, good. You support our show. Thank you.
We all call her Nicole's mom. We never
Mom,
call
I
her her
love
name.
you.
So anyway,
She is pretty damn awesome, though.
She is the best. She and Faraz bonded over Star Wars, and then he was like,
Because
I
you
don't
never had seen it before
exactly. So he's like, I don't understand how Nicole is your daughter. Like, she doesn't care about Star Wars, and you really like Star
I
Wars.
know your mom seems really
that. You know,
cool.
Faraz,
You've
you know
never
what's
met
funny?
her, and I hope
We've
that you
all
meet her.
had that
She's gonna be here in
conversation with her
September.
mom at some point.
She, I've talked to her online, like
have?
not directly, but
Wait, what do you mean you've talked to her mom online? What's going on?
well, we have Skype, and
It's amazing what you get on Tinder these days.
That's what I was thinking. You went Skype. I
no,
was
but
thinking
just like
Tinder.
she's posted in the Facebook group that kind
Yeah,
of
she
thing.
has.
And I've responded to that. Not really had a conversation.
There was a time that our friend Pedro posted something that she posted like 2 days earlier, and I was like, no, my mom got that first. Do not try and take
Was
credit
that the
for...
palm tree one?
No, what was it? I can't remember, but he posted it 2 days after my mom did, and I was like, hey, my mom posted this first. Don't try and act like you're funnier than my mom is. You're not. My mom's awesome.
No, Nicole's mom is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, moving on since we're towards the end of the show. We are ramping up our Patreon. So if you'd like
Yeah,
to
we
become
are.
a sponsor for a couple bucks a month, you get some extra stuff. You're going to get right now. You're going to get access to the scripts that we do for a couple bucks. There's an exclusive one that Faraz put together, the Star Wars Politics. It's different than the show that we put together. It's well worth the read, and
a lot more insight, a lot more detail. In case there was stuff we didn't talk about on the show, you'll be able to read it all there.
And then in the future, coming soon, you're going to get some shorts that we're all going to put together that are not the free episodes. These? You're going to have to pay for these episodes.
Am I autographing these shorts?
No.
Are these not shorts that I'm thinking of right now? Like, or are we actually...
We'll
They're
talk
not
off
shorts
the
like...
air.
It's not clothing. It's like
you
short
would-
articles.
You and Gary were invited to do something, but neither one of you responded yet. But we'll talk off the air on that. But we are going to definitely do dinner with Faraz shorts. Those are coming soon.
And
am I wearing shorts?
Yes, you can.
Yes, that's
I was
all
gonna
you wear.
say something, but if I say it, you'll laugh at me.
Yeah. What?
No, because it'll sound like I was gonna say an alliteration, and then if I say it, you're gonna say it's gonna sound like something else, and I'm not gonna say it until we're off the air.
Okay.
Okay.
Say it.
Nibbles with Nicole.
What?
There you go.
No. Also,
Exactly.
You're making that mainstream now? I thought that was just for me.
also coming in the near future, we'll be live. We'll be doing live shows.
Yay!
You can catch those live, and if you miss those live, you'll be able to catch the repeats on the Patreon.
Can we wear costumes for those finally?
Yes.
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 We'll
I
always
will
wear
wear a
costumes.
costume for a live show. I will mark that down right now. Somebody will make me a costume. Chris's wife, thank you.
Yes.
I love you.
I will wear. I'll be Arthur Dent as my costume.
B. Arthur Dent? What?
Yes, Arthur Dent. I'll wear.
No, B. Arthur Dent? Is that like B. Arthur is
No,
Two-Face?
I will be Arthur Dent.
Oh,
I'll
like
dress up
B.
as Arthur Dent.
I still think B. Arthur Dent would be better.
I don't understand what's happening.
Why?
We're going to be the Golden Girls, except he's going to be B. Arthur Dent.
No,
And we're
be
all
Arthur.
and we're going to be different
just
people.
Arthur. What's that?
We're going to be
Arthur?
different people. And all that, like, it's going to be like Rose
No,
Nyland.
no,
and-
no, no.
I was thinking that he's being B. Arthur.
No,
I don't understand
B.
now.
Arthur Dent. It's going to
Do
be
you not know who Arthur
phenomenal.
Dent is?
I don't know who B. Arthur
know who
is, and I
Harvey
think that's a
Dent
great
is.
idea.
No, I'm not. Okay, I'll be B. Arthur then.
Seriously, I really think the B. Arthur Dent would be a great idea.
So I could dress up as a lady in a bathrobe. That's all that would be.
No, she never really wore a bathrobe.
you would
It was
bring a
just
lot
those
of
very
class,
gaudy,
though.
But if
gaudy
I'm
clothing
combining Arthur Dent and B. Arthur
no,
What?
B.
Who?
Arthur.
B. Arthur.
Dent.
Yes, I'm going like Harvey Dent. Like
No, I'm going Arthur Dent from Hitchhiker's Guide.
who?
What?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
42? Is that where you got the name 42 from?
Yes. Oh my
Welcome
God.
to the show. Welcome to the podcast, Faraz.
See,
Oh my
Faraz and I
God.
are both go with like Batman and like Golden Girls themes here, and
You know what?
I like JL's take on mine. Like, that would have been good.
We have $1 coming from Speaker, and you guys are getting 5 cents out of that $1.
That is
And
fine.
Nicole and I are splitting the rest.
Yes.
At least
As
she
lo-
knows what Podcast 42 is from.
I know what it's from.
Even though you've had to
But
explain
I really
it to me like
liked
6
my
times.
B. Arthur Dent. That was a mix of like B. Arthur with Harvey Dent.
That
I
is
was
good.
really
I
looking
did like
forward
that.
to how you're going to split the
A
costume.
two-face of a golden girl.
Yes,
With like like the messed up acid
Come on,
burn
that would've been
face.
awesome.
No, it's going to be B. Arthur on one
I was-
side and Estelle Getty on the other.
And I would have come as Batman.
No,
I would've
Estelle
come as
Getty was
Batman.
Sophia. I was gonna be like the Joker, Sophia.
All right, for us,
On that note,
where can you find us?
Rue McClanahan, like it's like mix her with Poison Ivy.
that's not where you can find us.
You know what? We'll do a Golden Girls episode
Oh,
once.
this is
Can
really
we do a
cool.
Golden
Can
Girls
we
episode?
Can we?
Yes, but where can you find the show?
Pocket Cast.
What?
No, yeah, yeah. Technically, yes, but what does Pocket Cast feed off of?
What's a platform?
Google Play.
That's a platform. Yeah,
That's one.
Yeah, that's not like the main platform.
What's the one that we get paid
yes?
to
Who
have
pays
people?
us to be on it?
Spreaker. Very good, JL.
Very
Spreaker.
good.
Everybody
I
listen to us
always
on
remember where I
Spreaker.
get paid from.
And what's the platform that feeds like Pocket Casts and all the podcast catchers? Where do they get all their feeds from?
What?
Where does the RSS feeds come
you really need to
for
have
the
a talk
Pocket
with him.
Casts and all the other podcast catchers? iTunes. If the answer is iTunes.
iTunes, SoundCloud, Podcast Garden,
But it's
Spreaker,
Apple
Google Play,
separated.
Stitcher.
Podcasts aren't on iTunes anymore.
That's because they have a separate podcast
Whatever.
app, but
It's
you
on
can
Apple
still
separate.
search for them on.
It's okay. It's all right. It's still
okay.
where
You're still handsome.
It's still the same thing.
You're
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you.
Boy.
I appreciate
And
that.
if you really want YouTube, and then check out our Patreon. Lots of extra stuff.
So Spreaker and Patreon, then iTunes, Podcast Garden, Google Play, Stitcher.
We weren't going to do Patreon, but then Faraz came back on the show, and now we have no sponsors to pay us. So now we got to go back to Patreon.
We'll find sponsors again. They like us.
Yes, as
we're
long as we don't
entertaining.
grammatically correct them like we've
Sponsors
been.
that cost us that first time I was
We'll
on.
talk about it after we
We're a
record.
bunch.
There were.
To be honest, I made them all up.
No, I meant like all the
Truck
companies that I
Nuts
made,
was
that
not
I
a real
attacked.
sponsor?
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me truck nuts aren't real?
No, those are real.
Grill ass and truck nuts aren't real?
No, they are real.
Were they real sponsors?
Yes, of course.
I love you, dude from McDonald's who got us those sponsors.
Did I not attack Walmart several times?
Yeah,
Yes,
but that's
that is
fine.
why we
Everybody
didn't
That's
Yeah,
why we didn't
attacks
get a
Walmart.
sponsor from Walmart.
I think Walmart advertises on Spreaker, so it doesn't matter.
Well, on that note,
I'm Christopher DeVos.
I'm Nicole Fasone.
Hey, I'm still JL Tros.
I'm Faraz. Hey.
You will eventually get a last name.
You
right,
will get a
Madonna?
last name one day, won't you, Prince?
Cher, Madonna, Prince.
Oh, Prince. That's
No,
He
you're
is
no
Prince.
Faraz Prince.
Batman doesn't have a last name.
Yes, he does. His name is Bruce fucking Wayne.
No, that's his
the
alternate.
Batman.
He's
No, I will never call him the Batman.
What?
goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye. He's not the Batman. He's Batman. Ugh.
You are no longer listening to Podcast 42.
Some of the stuff you just heard might have been embellished, made up, or just plain incorrect. In other words, don't use this show to write a book report with. You will get a bad grade. Just like all the hosts.
But I'm not done yet.
JL's Beer Cooler is written and performed by Cremo. Cremo is an award-winning actor and musician. For all things Cremo, including more great music, visit Cremo.com. That's spelled Craymo. He is on Twitter at Cremo. Facebook, just search Cremo Music, and also on YouTube under, you guessed it, Cremo.